We will start at the top of the heart and work our way down. The first step is to make the 2 bumps on top. In round 1, we will single crochet 6 times in our foundation ring. You can either use a magic ring or do what I did here and chain twice, then single crochet 6 times in the second chain from your hook. For round 2, increase in every stitch until you have 12 stitches total. For round 3, single crochet once in the first stitch and then increase on the second. Repeat this 6 times until you have 18 stitches total. For round 4, single crochet once in every stitch until you've gone all the way around, then fasten off and set it aside. Now you'll need to make a second bump for the top of your heart, so repeat all the steps you just did again. Here are the steps just in case you need a little help remembering what they were. Now that we've made the 2 bumps, it's time to join them together so that they become one solid piece. Insert your hook into the wrong side of any stitch on one of the bumps, and then insert your hook through the right side of any stitch of the other bump. Hook your working yarn. I prefer to make a slip knot, but you can use the method that you like best, and pull the working yarn through both stitches on both bumps. Chain once just to kind of lock things in, and then start single crocheting once in every stitch on one of the bumps, and when you get back to where you started, hop over to the other one and crochet once in every stitch on that side as well. This will turn the 2 circles into 1 circle, and we will begin work on the bottom half of our heart. Now this is very important. Make sure that you have 36 stitches total, because if you don't have 36 stitches total, your count is going to be off when we start decreasing. Now I have finished going all the way around the first half of the top of my heart, and you can see I'm hopping over to the second half, and I'm crocheting around that one until I get back to where I started. and that turns the 2 circles into 1 circle. Now that our 2 halves of the heart are solidly joined together, we are going to build a couple more rounds without changing our stitch count at all. So for the next 2 rounds, rounds 2 and 3, you are going to single crochet once in every stitch. That's it. That's all you have to do. At this point, it's a good idea to use a stitch marker so that you can count your stitches as you go and make sure that you actually have the 36 you're supposed to have. Now you can still make this heart work even if you don't have 36 stitches. But if you don't have 36 stitches, you want to know that before the next step so that you can make adjustments for that. So count your stitches, and if you have 36 stitches, great. If not, just have that in mind for the next step, and I'll tell you what to do to fix it. Now on round 4, we are going to start decreasing. So if you have 36 stitches, follow the written pattern, which tells you to single crochet 2 together, and that is your decrease, and then single crochet once in the next 7 stitches. And then repeat those steps until you've gone all the way around. So you'll repeat them 4 times, and that will give you 32 stitches total. However, if you do not have 36 stitches, or if you don't know how many stitches you have, that's okay. We can still make it work. Just make sure you decrease 4 times on your round, and as long as they are fairly evenly spaced out, you'll achieve the same effect. So if you can't figure out where your decreases need to go by counting, whether it's because you can't see your stitches or your stitch count is off or whatever else might be going on, just make sure that you take away 4 stitches each time you go around, and your heart will turn out a-okay. On round 5, we're going to take away 4 stitches again. So we are going to single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet once in the next 6 stitches. Repeat those steps 4 times, and you will have 28 stitches total. On round 6, single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet once in the next 5 stitches. Repeat that 4 times, and you should have 24 stitches total. Now, like I mentioned before, we are just taking away 4 stitches each time we go around. So, rather than dragging you through the whole process, here's the next 4 rounds. Round 7, single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet once in the next 4 stitches. Repeat that 4 times to get 20 stitches total. Round 8, single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet in the next 3 stitches. Repeat that 4 times to get 16 stitches total. Round 9, single crochet 2 together, single crochet once in the next 2 stitches, and repeat that 4 times until you have 12 stitches. And finally, in round 10, single crochet 2 together, and then single crochet once in the next stitch. Repeat that 4 times until you have 8 stitches. Now you might notice in the written instructions there's an extra step. in between round 9 and round 10, and that is to stuff the heart. That's because if you wait until you finish round 10 to stuff it, it might be a little difficult to get the stuffing into the heart because the opening will be too small. But if you try to stuff it before round 9, you might have a difficult time stuffing it because the opening will be too large and the stuffing will keep falling out while you're still trying to crochet the heart. So after you finish round 9, go ahead and stuff your heart with the polyfill or whatever else you're using, and then continue with round 10. Now when you're stuffing the heart, just make sure that you stuff both sides evenly. It can be very easy with a shape like this to stuff one side more than the other. So just keep an eye on that. Make sure that both sides of the heart are getting the same amount of attention. Once round 10 is finished, we really can't decrease any more comfortably. Technically, we could decrease to 4 stitches, but it'd be an absolute fight. So I'm going to fasten off here, cut a long tail for sewing, and I'm going to use the tail to sew the last round closed. So I'm going to thread my yarn needle with the tail, and then I'm just going to weave the tail through the last round of stitches. I'm going to go in through one loop, out through the next, in through the loop after that, out through the one after that, and so on until I get back to where I started. Then I just pull it tight, tie it off, and hide the tail inside of the stuffy, and my heart is finished. Now, if you were one of those who couldn't follow the pattern exactly because you couldn't see your stitches or you couldn't count them or whatever else was going on, you might not know exactly when to stop. So you just kind of have to play it by ear. Keep decreasing until you cannot comfortably decrease anymore, and then fasten off and sew it closed. Other than that, there's nothing else to add. Your heart is finished. Good job. Another project well done. Congratulations.